start, I do it so well. It's Puma on the toes, but the stars on the clothes. I'm Starboy, fresh at the DF Dub. Yeah, I'm a hard hitter. Don't stare to fit, it'll ego hit you. What is you saying, man? Look at the swag. Please do forgive the brag. I'ma pull up later in the Cowboy jag. Don't you slip on the drip, I'm flossing the sauce. Go so hard for the star. Yeah, that be win, lose, or draw. If you take a L, get the F off my block. Cowboys win. Watch yours, pull up the shots. Really can't help it, got a star status. Even got it tatted on my arm. Yes, we be 5 green strongs. Left a little room cause it's quest for the SIDS. Starboy really reppin' this shit. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. I'ma keep reppin' loud until there's no more left in me. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. I'ma keep reppin' loud until there's nothing left in me. Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys to the death for me.
Yeah, tell me who the #1 fan. Yeah, Mr. Westside, I'm the man. Dallas Cowboys from my head to the toes. They better recognize who the fuck I am. Damn, haters run their mouth like a bitch when they team ain't shit and my team stay lit. Yeah, I'm about to rep this shit till the day I die in an all blue casket. If you wanna get with a club with love, tell Star Status Westside sent ya.
Hey, what's up with you guys? It is your boy West Coast. Hey, we back in the building. Hey, man, I was just playing around Facebook. Like, I'm serious, man. I was just playing around. I was talking about I said a word on Facebook, I guess, that's not supposed to be said, and as soon as I said it out my mouth, they immediately turned the feed off. So, like I said, we not gonna be saying that word. Jeez. Louise. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm from the HOOOD, but that kind of shook me for a minute. I was kind of like, oh, I had to sit back. I had to send one up one time, like, Jesus, you still got me, right? And he said, yeah, I still got you. I said, all right, we going then. Let's rock. Hey, man, so Boss Cowboy should be up in here in a couple minutes, man. That was weird, though, right? I'm just happy I had like 118 people on here, and I had like 40 people on YouTube and a gang of other people on all over social platforms that was able to witness that with us. Because, man, that lets you know right now, Big Brother is listening, boy. Boy. Boss Cowboy. Is that Boss Cowboy? What's up with you, man? Man, I'm about to start checking everybody at the door after that situation.
You got the ground popping?
Man, don't be just hey man, after what just happened, don't just be coming up in here and ringing the doorbell and not saying hello. New
you
rule.
Got the ground popping or what, man? So I know what to do.
Say what? Do I got what? What you mean?
The Instagram.
Oh yeah. I'm about to get it up right now. That was weird.
So say C word.
Nah, I mean yeah. I don't even really want to even come nothing close to even saying
the ooey.
The ooey. There we go.
Golly. Yeah, that was weird. Yeah.
Wow.
And I know you're not at all a conspiracy theorist, my brother. At all. So when you said it, I was like, what? Like, no way.
Yeah,
what?
Bro. I literally said there are been reports about people saying a certain word on social media and their streams have been immediately getting shut down. And then I was just playing around and I said it in the microphone real low. And as soon as I said it, my show shut down.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is. So they don't mind what I say about Jerry Jones. They just don't go to no government. I got you, man. I'm going to stay in my lane. I got you, man. I'm going to stay in my lane, big brother. But, hey, man, let's get back to what it is, man. We already talked about Byron Jones going to Miami. We'll see him when we see him. You know what I'm saying? We'll catch that fade when we run it. But, yeah, let's talk about these guys getting tagged today. Boss Cowboy. Yeah. Boss Cowboy.
That's me.
Dak Prescott did not get a contract.
Right.
But he did get one for 1 year that he probably don't want.
Yeah.
Today, Dak Prescott, the Dallas Cowboys officially placed the franchise tag on Dak Prescott. Now, he actually currently still has to sign it. This is still America. I think it is. They turn your feed off for saying the wrong words, but whatever. This is still America.
And share, please.
Share, please share.
Yeah, we was up to 150, man. Get it back up there.
And if something happened to us, you know who did it. We disappeared. If we ain't on the live tomorrow, you know who did it.
It was the ooey
It was the ooey guys. What's up with you, Talia? Hey, Boss Cowboy,
Yeah.
I'm up on Instagram, man. I'm ready to rock,
All right.
man, whenever you are.
Let's go.
Ah,
Man, you got me over here nervous, man.
on my mama, I got kids, man. Don't do me like that, baby.
I'm out to sleep with my pistols.
Woo, Jesus, baby Jesus in a manger. Baby Jesus in a manger in the
Safety
swaddling
off.
clothes. Looking all
The
cute.
ooey ooeys. Anyway.
Bruh.
I thought you was joking for real, man. I really did. I was like, huh?
No, and then it immediately went off. And then we was
It
like,
did. Like, and it was just me left.
yeah, that was crazy.
They kicked you out for saying the ooey ooey.
The ooey ooey. You know what I'm saying? We not saying it no more. The ooey ooey. You know what I'm saying? But
Weird, bro.
so Dak Prescott got tagged today, and I'm pretty sure he woke up a pretty upset, unappreciated man. And let's kind of just talk about that for a minute, man. Dak Prescott getting franchise tagged, and what does that mean for the cap? What does that mean for the Dallas? What, as a fan base, what should we feel? How should we feel? I put out some content today, and you guys did a really good job of supporting it. So I'm gonna let Boss Cowboy have the floor first. What up, Roy? I see you coming in, big supporter swagging. I see you, man. I see you, Roy. I see you out in them streets. What up with you, man? Boss Cowboy, let me know. What's up, man? What's your thoughts on Dak getting signed? Getting franchise tag.
I think a lot of people are overthinking it. Because I'm listening to the theories that's put out there, because a lot of us, we trying to use logic, but when we using the logic, is one kind of logical point that we keep leaving out is the ego of men, right? And this whole fight is similar to the Zeke fight. The Zeke fight was literally over less than $700,000, and most people don't know that. So but you got to listen closely to what they say. So, for instance, they said we gave at that time when it was Zeke, we gave Zeke an offer that's between Bell and Gurley. You remember that statement? And they was trying to make it seem as if he was refusing and being greedy. So you know me, I went and looked at what's the difference between those guys. The difference between those guys was about 1.2 million. All you got to do is go look at Bell's contract, the latest contract, and go look at Gurley's latest contract, and go look at the average per year, the guarantee, and the total contract. Just go look at it. It's on Sports Track. You can do it right now. And then say, what's between this? What is this fight over? And you look at the difference and you say, this holdout was over that? That's what's going on right now with Dak. Dak is trying to hold to a respectable number. He want to be respect. That's what this whole thing is about. He don't want to take an amount that's under guys that he feel like he's better than. And he don't want to be treated in a way that's different from others. All the last 10 franchise quarterbacks, young franchise quarterbacks, especially with resumes like him, all set the market. So they hold it now more so on principle, because we know it's not about the money now. Because why? The CBA is passed. They got rid of the 30% rule. So that means Jerry has way more flexibility with the cap, right? So we know it's not that. We know that the cap is going to rise as soon as they do the television deals, and it's going to be exponential. So we can't say he's going to mess up the future by us signing him now. We can't do that. We can't say those things because we know with this new CBA, it's going to be a major increase in revenues to the cap. So this whole tag situation is more so about the Joneses wanting to appear right and tough in the public. And Dak is going to have to do what everybody that's been enumerated has done. And what do they do to get paid? They hold the team hostage. They forcing you to treat them bad because Dallas teaches you that if you try to do business with us right, they're going to screw you around. And that's what they do. So when Tank held the team hostage, did he get paid? Yes. When Zeke held out 2 years early, did he get paid? Yes. When Zach Martin held out and then they finally looked out in the parking lot and didn't see his car, what did they say? It was weird not seeing his car out there. And what did they end up doing? Paid him. And so what did they do with it's the trend of being in Dallas? And sadly, West Coast, some people try to make this about race. And and it's not about race. You keep hearing people subtly bring up, if this would have been Tony Romo, they trying to make it like it's favoritism of race, and it's neither. It's just how the Dallas Cowboys do business. Like they go try to screw you around until you show that you tough. That's what it is. You can be purple. They go do you like that. So, and I'm on a if it was about race, I would unapologetic, you know what I'm saying? Say it, but it's not the case. It's how Dallas does business. And so when people trying to be too logical, they trying to find out, well, could it be that they don't believe in Dak? And could it be? And no, it's the same Jerry. It's the same Jerry that got rid of Jimmy. Ego. It's the same Stephen Jones that didn't want Deion Sanders over ego. That's what it is. It's when they get set and they get dug into what they want, logic goes out the window. That's what happens with them. It's not about logic. So all of us that's trying to logically figure out, like, why did you spend the first round and let this man hit the open market? Like, damn, like, but stop thinking logically and start thinking like really what their pattern is every now and then they shoot themselves in the foot. And it's the part of being a Dallas Cowboy. That's what it is.
Absolutely, man. And I want to, before I get my piece, I want to give some shout outs, man. Shout out to my boy Alex Salazar, man. He sent 71 stars. I appreciate you, man. We also got,
man? Thank you.
Hey, Alex, if you got a question, man, drop it in the comment box, man. Miguel, I appreciate you for the 250 stars, man. I appreciate you, man. We got stars in the building, man. I think you the star king right now. You definitely the star lord right now. Actually, because he's the star lord. You know what I'm saying? My boy Alex, he got like 140 on the game, so I appreciate you, man. I think we had one more down here somewhere. If I forgot it, I'm gonna look for you and I'm gonna find you and I'm gonna shout you out. But yo, man. Hey, and shout out to Super Chat over here on YouTube. It is on. I just clicked the button twice. It is on. Appreciate you guys. But yo, man, you're absolutely right, Boss Cowboy. Like, man, it's almost like trying to rationalize with a little kid, like trying to rationalize with a 3-year-old. Like you try to ask a 2-year-old, like, hey, why you boo-boo on yourself? I don't know.
Thank you, bro.
I don't know.
Say that again.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you're trying to rationalize with a child. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, their logic is their logic. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's like even if their logic is wrong, like their logic is still their logic. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna make decisions to support those logic because logically, I just look at it as a number. Like you trade away your first round pick for a guaranteed 24 games. Why? Because you had 8 games in that season that you got him, and then you had 16 games in the next season. Now, you can go back to live feeds when we got Amari Cooper. And I said this in my live feed. I said the only thing that scares me about Amari Cooper is the fact that the Dallas Cowboys have not given him a deal. Why would you bring – like if you notice everybody else that gets traded, they pretty much get a deal within the couple days, couple hours almost. Why? Because you don't want to have a Jadeveon Clowney on your hand when you literally trade for a guy that didn't sign on a franchise tag. He said, oh, yeah, I'm going to give you a good deal. I'm going to give you a discount. Yeah, right. Jadeveon Clowney got that money. He was gone. He said nothing about Jadeveon Clowney on his third team now. You know what I'm saying? So when the Dallas Cowboys brought Amari Cooper initially to the Dallas Cowboys, and he had that 8-game season, and they didn't sign him then the second time, come on, man. Like, you had to know it was some funny business. Because by the 8th game, because you got to think like this, we were 3-5 when we got Amari Cooper. By the end of the season, we were what? We went on a 7 games? We went 7 games in that season, including 1 playoff game. You know what I'm saying?
We went on a 71 run in the last 8 games.
Not only did he do that, he had two of the biggest Dallas Cowboy receiving games in history. In that 8-game span. That's what Amari Cooper did for you. And you know what we did? We still looked at him and said we want more. When Amari Cooper started saying out of his own mouth that he wasn't tripping on getting paid, you know what that let me know? That he wanted options, and that not even that he wanted options, but there was no favoritism over Dallas. I don't want nobody to think with Amari Cooper that we're going to get this hometown discount. It's not going to be that. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, like, when how everything went down, especially right now with the CBA, because what I was honestly hoping is that it didn't pass. Because if it didn't pass, then you guess what you got? You got both tags. You know what I'm saying? But since it did, and I was also hoping that it didn't pass because it's not fair for the most part. Duh, you know what I'm saying? But it did pass, like we also said it would. And guess what? You only have one tag now. So this whole time, think about this. There are people out there who have been fighting us frivolously on Dak Prescott getting a tag that was $26 million. Think about this. You wasted 2 months of your life fighting an argument that never happened. Why? Because the CBA passed and the tag went away. And just like my boy Boss said in his article, what tag did we use? The exclusive tag, putting him at $33.1 million. Now, what I'm noticing is a lot of people don't really understand how a tag works. So let me kind of like break it down real quick and how the financing of the money comes out of your paycheck, right? So it's like this, Boss Cowboy does some work for me. And because he did some work for me, I told him, bruh, I'll pay you $30 for that work, right? Now, after Boss Cowboy does that work for me, Boss Cowboy gives me two options, right? I can either pay him the $30 right now, today, take the $30, or I can give him $10 of that $30 right now, and we can finance the rest of that $20 over 2-3 days. Why? Because my check gonna hit on the first, but it hit on the first, but it got to slide down into my bank account. You got to make a right into my savings account, and if you get in the wrong account, it'll mix with my other money, and then I gotta sort it all out. It's just hard. So I just say it'd be on there about the third. Okay, so we gonna finance this check for about 3 days. Which one are you gonna take, boss? Which one would you take?
Shoot. I want my money now.
I know you want your money now, but I'm saying if you're an organization, if you owed somebody, which one would you rather pay them up front right now?
Because I want the cash. I want the freed up cash. If I'm a business, cash is most important, right? Generally, is you want cash. So yeah, that's an excellent example. $10, right? And if I can either pay you 30 right now, or I can finance and say, okay, I'll pay you $1 right today, and then in 3 days I'll pay you another $1, and then 3 days after that I'll pay you another $1, and then that 3 days after that gives me flexibility and time to do other things with that $10. That's the perfect example of why this tag doesn't make any sense. Also, on top of that, can I add one more thing to it? Because I know you was deep in your point. I just want to add one thing to it so you can expound on it.
Go ahead.
The timing is bad. You tagging this man at the start of free agency when you need the money. Like if you got 28 people that you got to sign now, you're going to need this money now.
Yep.
So it's like, so you chose the option that makes it harder for you to sign.
Yep. Because Boss Cowboy, you got to think like this. The total cap is about $201 million. But the Cowboys already have about 101 of that $1 million of that cap tied up into players already. So realistically, when it's all said and done, we're going to have right at $100 million to spend on 26 players. Now, if you pay Dak Prescott a franchise tag of $31 million, that means you subtract $31 million that day out of $100 million. And now you have like $69 million to sign 25 other players. That doesn't make any sense.
No.
It makes more sense to finance. It makes
and it's
more
better to finance even if you slightly overpay.
I know they ain't really hear that, but I'm just saying, man. Either way, the financing, no matter what the number is, the franchise tags makes no sense for the Dallas Cowboys. Because now you're limiting the amount of money that you have to be able to spend on other players. And then I'm going to tell you the dumb thing about it is you're going to put a franchise tag on him right now, right? Then you're not going to have money to sign somebody later down the road. Then he's going to sign a contract, and then that money's going to free up. Like, you need the money today. You need the money Wednesday. Like, we need that free agent money Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need it Wednesday when everybody else is out there shopping. We don't need no ghost. It's like, don't you hate when you do something like when you slide your ATM card and then they hold like $50 or something, and then you be thinking you got money in the bank and you be sliding, you be ripping and riding and you be sliding. Oh, I'm the only one that do that? Okay. All right, whatever.
No, you
I'm the only one that do that. Okay. Oh,
no,
right.
You not.
All right, whatever. But I'm just saying, you know how I be when you get them charges and you be slide, you know what I'm saying? They put a hold on your account because they got to, it take them 4 days and you be looking like, okay, I got like 300. Okay, I'm in your slide, and then you get this overdraft. Like, what? Wait, time out. That's why I got a whole nother account for bills. Why? Because that happened to me way too many times. You know what I'm saying?
And
Why would you?
I do want to try to attempt to try to pretend that there's logic in this and try either talk me into this or talk me out of it, West Coast. Okay, all right. I
On
want
what,
you
a
to either
franchise
talk me.
tag?
No, I'm finna throw some
Hey, get up on
spirit.
Instagram.
Yeah, I'm restarting it. My battery died. I just had to put in the what you call it. I'll be there in about 5 minutes. Oh, matter of fact, just keep talking until I get back on Instagram.
Duh. That's what I'm gonna do anyway. Go ahead.
Right on.
Go ahead, man.
But check this out.
He be
I was
telling
trying to
the
think
trade
of all
secrets.
the reasons why you would allow somebody like Amari to hit the market, right? And so I said this. I said occasionally, because that's also why you have the transition tag. In the transition tag, you allow players to go hit the market and talk to teams, but at least you have the first right to refusal, right? So with that option, it guarantees that player is going to at least come back and talk to you and say, hey, this is what this other team offer. Can y'all do the same, right? So every now and then you do allow players to hit the market so that they can get a feel for what they're really worth, because their hearts might really be with you. Their hearts might really be with you and your team, but at the same time, they want to know what's fair for them. So the only way to know that is to know what the market says about them. So in that case, if you've been in this tug of war with Cooper, right, about what you're worth, because the receiver market, especially because of Julio Jones, inflated, right? He took a major increase on top of the cap. So if that's the case, then sometimes you allow those players to go out there so you can say, hey, man, when you come on back, we're going to match whatever they do. We're going to add a couple of $10 on it, you know?
You getting up
Am
on
I
Instagram?
crazy?
Are you getting on Instagram? No, you're not crazy. They crazy.
No, I'm saying, is that something that you think that they're doing?
I'm gonna tell you this. I think none of it makes sense. You want to know why? Because then none of it makes sense. You want to know why? Because in the process, you're pissing off a player that you know you're gonna pay. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, it doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? But hey, before I wanted to kind of, because I think we didn't do it. There was one little quick on the Byron Jones that we didn't finish, that we were about to finish. I wanted to talk before, and we're gonna come back to this tag you read too on Amari Cooper too. But I wanted to with Byron Jones gone tomorrow. What does my cornerback room look like? It looks like 2017. It looks very promising because in 2017 you had Jordan Lewis and Chidobe Awuzie, and they were ranked from PFF as a top 10 up and coming cornerback tandem. You know what I'm saying? Jordan Lewis, I definitely think will be able to hold his own. He's a seasoned pro, been in the league 3 years, then played outside and inside. He was by far your best defender last year, and he's going into technically not necessarily a contract year, but a year before a contract year. So you would think that he would have a huge uptick. So I'm expecting Jordan Lewis, Chidobe Awuzie to man it up and then figure out what we're going to do on the inside. I think also now, like, you know, don't be surprised if you get an Anthony Brown sighting, especially because I think Anthony Brown's going to be dirt cheap. You know what I'm saying? I think he's going to devalue himself for the Dallas Cowboys, and he's definitely someone that the Dallas Cowboys like. You know what I'm saying? So don't be surprised if Anthony Brown comes back. But, I mean, in my opinion, does this automatically, with Byron Jones leaving, I think a lot of people are wondering, does this automatically mean we're drafting corner at 17? What are your thoughts? Whoa, didn't mean to turn my leg that way.
It's early. It's like, it's real early. Like, it's you still got Chris Harris, and, you know, it's people that's literally trying to even talk Chris Harris into taking a pay cut to come to Dallas. I found that out, you know. So it's some interest out there, and he wants to be here, so he's an option. Like, before we, you know, even get too caught up on receiver or corner, and I guess we can speculate on it because of today's news. It just honestly just too early just to know, because, like, for instance, you know, with Byron Jones, it don't necessarily. I'm gonna just say like this: no, it doesn't mean that we're gonna pick a corner at 17. No, it does not. So, you know, one of the things about this whole thing, I mean, the one thing about this whole thing with Byron Jones, Dak, and Cooper, I'm gonna first start with Cooper. If we don't get like a player like Diggs, which is somebody, you know, we messed up epically. like epically. Like if it's a player like Diggs, then this would make sense. If you lose Cooper and then you get a Diggs, and then Diggs is gonna be almost just as good, cheaper, you know, yeah, I would stomach that. You know, I would stomach that because I was thinking about that as we talked about that today, West Coast. Sometimes like Dallas might be like really being smart, like going all in on Marshall's picks this year. Because if you targeting Marshall's picks, you targeting players that appear flawed, right? Or they're having dissension within their organization, which make that organization give them away cheap. Like Hopkins, right? Perfect example. They were saying he was having some dissension with Bill O'Brien, and everybody scratching their head like, you gave him away for what? You know, it was because of the dissension that was going on between the Texans and him.
He wanted a new contract too, though. His main gripe was he wanted a new contract, and Houston didn't want to give it to him. He was making 13.8. Amari Cooper made that last year on a franchise tag, and you didn't have 6 wide receivers that he's noticeably better that are making $5 to $6 million more than him. So he wanted more money. You know what I'm saying? And then he immediately got it when he got to Arizona.
So if that's a case like that, you still can then potentially, and I'm just trying to figure out logic that might make this Cooper stuff make sense. I'm still reaching, bro. Just to help me.
Well,
I mean,
my thing is this, like, Mike, you know what I'm saying? Like, as soon as Amari Cooper didn't get franchise tagged this morning, like, the first thing I did was I dropped the video, and then I immediately started looking at wide receivers who I felt that could come in here and help. And to be honest with you, Stephon Diggs was really like a godsend because, you know, until he sent that tweet out, there was nearly no thought of it. I got a buddy who's a Viking scout, and I always told him that wasn't going to work out. I just never knew it was going to, you know, implode so quickly because they just repaid Thielen last year. But one thing about Diggs is, you know, money wise, he's, you know, over the next 4 years, he's set to make $11 million per year. Amari Cooper is probably going to get a contract about $18 million. So right there, you know, you save yourself about $8 million. I say route running. I think route running, they're both really, really good at it, man. Like, I'm not gonna say that Stephon Diggs is better than Amari Cooper because there's some things at the point, like at the point of attack of like hike that Amari Cooper can do that I've only seen like Ocho Cinco do. Like, literally create separation right out the gate. But at the same time, you know, when you look at a guy like Diggs, like that dude is a very, very precise route runner. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's gonna help your quarterback out. So and then they both, you know, after they get the ball in their hand, they both execute. You know, if you go look at their I can only see your mouth. That's my wife talking. If you see both of them, you know, after they get the ball in their hand, they're both very dynamic. I'm not saying I think that I think that Dak can gel with anybody. He proved that when we traded for Amari Cooper, and like 2 weeks later, he had a career freaking game, like 200 and some yards. So I think if you give Dak anybody, he'll use it. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like who he is. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think the switch would be so dramatic on the back on our offense. But I will say this: if the Dallas Cowboys, it's a mentality you got to have, and that is you don't quit one job unless you have another one lined up, right? So if you Dallas Cowboys, if you're making this decision on the thoughts of afterwards, oh, we don't get Cooper, you know, if we don't get Cooper, we'll go get Diggs. Then no, you need to be trying to get Diggs now. You know what I'm saying? And then if it doesn't work out with Diggs, then Cooper is your backup plan. You know, because what'll happen is you'll end out without neither one of them. Because I'm going to tell you one thing about the Dallas Cowboys is you can tell, man, they like to eat, they like to get fat, and they like to sit around and chill. It's a whole lot of procrastination going on in the Dallas Cowboy Nation. Because we be seeing some deals that just be going by our heads like, what the heck? Y'all didn't even call? You know what I'm saying? Like in free agency, time is of the essence. And you saying, oh, we're going to call down there on Thursday. Well, guess what? He signed on Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? Or he's traded on Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? And one thing I've noticed about my team is we are not fast to move. We're just not. We don't free agency. We just don't have that sense of urgency. that other teams have. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about this. Like, we have a problem that we've had for 7 months that we still haven't fixed. And you know what that is? Signing your quarterback. It's 7 months later, and you still haven't signed him.
Yeah, we waited
7 months.
We waited 8 weeks to figure out that receiver by committee wasn't going to work when it was obvious from the moment you cut theirs.
Bro, you waited
Just to
11
your
weeks
point.
to figure out that Brett Mayer couldn't kick.
Yeah,
We're
so,
all
I mean, you
screaming like,
making-
bruh.
Yeah, you making some hellified points on just the stubbornness. And make sure y'all share. We talking real, we talking real football right now. It's getting heavy. So share so your friends can hear it. Share it to groups, share it to stuff like that. But yeah, man, hellified point you just made on. And that's Steven, bro. That is Steven Jones. That is the character of Steven Jones. I put in the Boss Cowboy offseason guide, and I warned about this in that guide. I say the greatest asset of Steven Jones is his budgeting. I said the greatest weakness of Steven Jones is what?
His
His budgeting. Because, like, and I use Deion Sanders' deal as the example. When Deion was coming over around 96, 97, he checked all the boxes. Had the Nike contract.
I mean, he put you out the playoffs the year before.
Yeah, put you out the playoffs, limited one of your best weapons with Michael Irvin the year before, was a special teams guy, kickoff, punt return, bought branding value. Like it was no salary cap, so you could sign him. Dallas had money then. Like it was check, 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 and check. But you know who didn't want it? Steven. So because of what? The budget. And Jerry at that time was kind of sonning Steven, and he was like, man, we did it, man. Like almost like, man, you don't see all these check marks he do for us, man. Stop. But Steven was so dug in on it that he jacked his daddy up against the wall. And so when you kind of so dug in on your own ideas like that, that's what we seeing right now is it takes a while. And like Dallas right now, it has to be obvious for them to get it. Like,
and you need the money. And think about this, boss. You need the money today. Like if you
need the money today,
if you franchise tag Dak, you're taking money out your pocket that you could be using to go to the club and get fly. Like we trying to go to the market and buy everything. The money's used to be spent. Like that's what it's meant for.
And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, like I saw my boy Ken Matney say, lose Cooper, get a quality free agent, draft Ruggs or Lamb is a must. I'm gonna say this, man, because I researched this heavily, and I'm gonna do an article on this.
First round wide receivers, man, I'm cool.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
History say they're not gonna do good.
Wide receivers work generally when they come in to be the number 2 first.
Mm-hmm.
When you draft them to take over for a number 1,
never works.
Chances of it working is literally 5%. I've done
like
the numbers.
Never works. It never works.
And I'm gonna actually post it where I'm gonna go through line by line all the first rounders that was drafted to be, I call them heroes. So like when you draft a guy to come in to take over and to be the number 1, they get beat up, bro. I'm gonna tell you
why,
right
boss?
now.
You wanna know why? Because there's this thing called double coverage, and if you're a number 1 wide receiver, you're gonna get this thing called double coverage
and confidence.
And
that's
if you can't,
thing.
and like bruh,
like Gallup, like look how Gallup was boo-booing on himself, and let's be honest, he was boo-booing on himself until who? Cooper. Because Cooper came in and he took pressure off him, and now instead of Gallup as a rookie having to go against top corners, they send him over to the number 2 corner, and he started going against nickels. His confidence got better, and now I think he can handle it just a little bit better. But when you draft a guy like Ruggs and Lamb and say, welcome to the NFL, your first test is Byron Jones.
He might win on Byron. He might get
But
Byron.
You know what I'm saying? I just named the name. You know what I mean, though. You know what I mean? And then the next week is going to be...
But boss, it ain't even got to be Byron Jones. It got to be like, yo, it's that corner and that safety.
Right. And and
like,
they know you're
the
threat, and they're going to try to take you away, and they're going to be beating you up, and you don't get your confidence up. So, like, receiver is a confidence position. I talked to Swam at SportsCon, right?
That's Jeff Swam, former tight end. Jeff Swam, former tight end of the Dallas Cowboys.
I went to him straight up, West Coast. We sitting right there. I said, hey, man, I'm going to be honest with you. I say Dak preseason game, he would have had 100% completion percentage, and he would have had a perfect passing rating if you didn't drop 2 of his passes. I said, what happened? Because you became a dog like a year later. And he said, I'm going to be all the way honest with you, man. He said, man, my confidence was whack. He said, I had to get out there and make a couple of plays. And once you make a couple of plays, you start thinking to yourself, yeah, I do belong out here. And it start feeling like when you was a kid and you were just having fun. He said, man, it's mostly in our head. I said, really? He said, yeah. He said, I'm going to be honest with you. That's what it was with me. It was in my head. Dak threw me 2 lobs in preseason, and I was just, because Witten was taking all the snaps, I was just too anxious. That's what he said. And I said, I feel you. So it's like we got to also think about the mental part of what you taking, these young receivers and throwing them into, bro. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean?
And
so
then
like,
also, it
would be unwise for us to go into the draft like, you're going to be our hero.
Yeah, and then at some point you got to be like, at some point it's like you got to stop hoping and praying and start being realistic.
Thank you.
Like some of y'all, like I'm just being real, man. And I'm not trying to offend. It's always in love, unless you take it. But I'm gonna be real with you, man. Like some of y'all got to stop hoping and praying. Like so much of your thought process be really more of a hope and a prayer that it does happen that way. And a part of the reason why I think a lot of folks gravitate to myself and Boss Cowboy is because we don't talk about the hope and the prayer. We talk about what's most likely gonna happen. Because what's most likely gonna happen is typically what most likely happens. That's what happens. Yeah. What typically happens.
The rookie receiver get beat up.
Exactly. He's gonna get beat up. And not only is he gonna get beat up, but it's like, bro, it's like no rookie receiver is in this draft is better than any rookie receiver that's come in the NFL in the last 10 years. Okay, how has any of those rookie receivers done in the last 10 years? Like, let's just be real. You have one exception, Odell Beckham. So you're telling me there's Odell Beckham in this draft, and you're telling me you're going to get him at 17?
Yeah, and he was a disciple. See, I call people like that a disciple because remember, he came in as a number 2 as well. You know what I mean? So he also had to get his confidence up. So it's something about like
in a year that you want us to go to the Super Bowl, you want a rookie as your number 1 wide receiver to beat number. You don't. No, you don't.
No, and can I say something with what you said that was so beautiful? What you said is stop betting on hope and start betting on knowing.
Thank you.
We just came from a season where we almost had 3 1,000-yard receivers. Wouldn't you just say, okay, let's pay that even if we got to slightly overpay for that and then let's focus on defense?
Yep, makes more sense. Why are you going to go back into the hope?
Why you got to go reinvent every damn thing? Like chemistry, like how – like, tell me one time in history, anybody on the thread listening on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you listening, West Coast, YouTube, somebody tell me one time where a receiver came in mid-season and had instant chemistry with a quarterback. You can use 100 years of history. Just tell me one time has that. We taking for granted what don't even happen that often. It's 2 things we taking for granted: chemistry and character. Those are the 2 things because the people that's getting treated the worst right now,
I don't even believe it.
Best of both.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even believe. I'm gonna keep it 1,000. Chemistry does not exist, and you already know why. Chemistry doesn't exist. You wanna know why? Because Dak Prescott, exactly what you just said. Dak Prescott didn't know Amari Cooper.
That's what I'm saying.
The first time they met, the first time they met each other was the first time they met each other, and guess what they did? They clicked and they got it popping.
They clicked.
You ain't gotta have chemistry. You gotta have 2 dogs that want to play, and they go out there and play. Period. You don't need no chemistry. We gotta know each other. No, we don't. No. Chemistry makes the soup taste better, but you can still eat it. You know what I'm saying? That's all it do.
Yeah, but I mean, nobody that's listening on any one of the social media platforms is going to be able to tell me one time that's happened.
None.
Not one. So it's like when something magical happens like that, when peanut butter finally meet jelly on bread, you don't change it to vinegar. Like that's a good combination. When you finally put cheese with ground beef and bread and it turned out a burger, you don't just throw it in the oven and try to make it roast. You know what I mean? It's a burger. It's chemistry. It worked. Like, why am I gonna mess with it? You know what I mean? It's a burger. You know what I mean? It fit. They go together. And now we saying, let's do something different. Let's send Cooper out and let's see. And it's worse West Coast while we sitting on $74 million. Like I could see if we was like the old Dallas Cowboys where we was kind of starting the year with 10 million sitting in the cap, 20 million sitting in the cap at best. We sitting on money. Like we literally, and it's like my biggest thing is this, West Coast. Why the hell do we always try to give people to give team-friendly discounts when we don't spend the money in free agent anyway?
Yeah, like my question is this: how you gonna ask me to take less money and you got money in the bank to pay me? That's what I be saying, man. Like, oh, if we can get them to get a team-friendly deal. That's why if I'm Chris Harris, like, bruh, why I gotta give you a team? I don't get that. Like, I would never give a team-friendly deal. You wanna know why? Because I'm not gonna give you team-friendly play. I'm going to give you the best of my ability. So, man, if you're going to give me the best of your ability, pay for it. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's how it's supposed to work. Hey, what's up with you, Marvin? I appreciate you for them 50 stars, man. Appreciate you. Travis says, this is the Jones fellas. They don't care if the way they do it. I mean, it be like that sometimes. Buddha says, where you going, boss? Alex says Brady and Moss went off even though they were mid-season. I mean, because at the end of the day, you don't have to pay for it, man. Just get good guys in here that want to play and can want to compete.
Were they mid-season? Was he traded mid-season?
No, I think he was traded at the beginning of the season.
I thought that was an off-season.
I think because he came from the Raiders.
He came from the Raiders. He
Brad
came
Boss
from the
just
Raiders
said
and had an off-season with Brady. He didn't just come and have instant chemistry. No. But that's a good one, though. Like, that's still a good example of good chemistry, but it wasn't like the way Cooper and Dak did it. Like, that doesn't happen. Mm-hmm. And it's like we keep acting like lightning strike 3 times, bro. Like you don't find 4th round quarterbacks that plays for $4 million for 4 years that actually does it without holding out. And then like I don't think people know that Dak is the first quarterback in franchise history that's ever been tagged.
Yeah. And we got a bunch of people in here that's asking for Dallas Cowboys to trade. We got my Cowboys family. He says, look for the Dallas Cowboys to trade for Darius Slay coming to Dallas in a trade. I'm going to be honest with you, man. I like Darius Slay, but I'm cool on trading for old. I'm cool, man. I'm cool. My thing is this right now. If you trade for him with the corners you have right now, you're going to basically be playing him in the slot. Or you're going to be forcing Jordan Lewis back in the slot. No, it's time to allow Jordan Lewis to grow. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to my thing is this, I'm down to trade for him if you're telling me that you're going to be moving Cheetah Bay Awuzie. Because if not, you need to leave them dudes where they are, and because like both them dudes is about to come up on contracts. At some point, you got to understand what you're going to be doing, what you're going to be paying these dudes. So it's like for me to bring him in, in my opinion, for me to give up assets, it just makes more sense to just go out there in a free agency. You know what I'm saying?
I actually like the idea because it's not that many good corners in this free agency, and 2 of the best of them got picked up today. We only kind of sitting on Slade, and then we sitting on right now. We saying the best, then we talking about Chris Harris. I don't think that's a bad idea. I think it depends on what trade. That's what it would depend on to me is what trade. So I like it. It's an outside the box type of thing, and if you're trying to catch a team that's actually trying to move on, that can make it a Marshall's pick to where sometimes you're trying to move on for budget, right? And that's one of the classifications that I call the Marshalls, where, you know, when I say Marshalls, I'm talking about the department store. Just like when Neiman Marcus sent some of his inventory down there to Marshalls.
Okay, but I get what you're saying, boss.
They don't value.
But give me a number.
But I was just explaining to people that's because there's 150 people on right now.
I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying, I think what we need to do to make this more realistic is what is an actual number? What is an actual number that for Darius Slade? Because for me, because I mean, I'm down to sound Chris Harris too. You know what I'm saying? So everything sounds good. And right now we can talk actual numbers. So what are you willing?
Trade. So if we talking about a number. I was, you know,
what's your limit?
He's gonna command top. Like in this market, he's gonna command top. Like
you want to know why? Because Byron Jones just got $17 million.
Yeah. So if you shopping him as a team, you go shop him where you'll get your greatest return. You know. So and then to be honest, let me just say it like this.
If you're Detroit, you're not calling. I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. If you're Detroit,
you're
not calling Dallas.
No,
Dallas just told you that they're not paying
cheap.
people.
Dallas don't spend in the first week. Like I want to say that, and I forgot to say that. I'm gonna say it now. Like we really kind of need to keep our TVs turned down low, because the only people that's gonna get signed this week after 6 years of history of watching this is our own. We go either only sign Cooper this week or Dak this week. Or it's gonna be one of those bubble players that we already had on exclusive deals anyway, like our tight end or like Rush. It's gonna be only our own this week.
They're not gonna
When
do
we
Rush
really
before Dak.
go start shopping, we gonna start shopping next week. That's when we go start. That's when you go, because that's our history. When Stephen Jones don't like the first week of free agency. That's so obvious. Like, that's obvious. Like, if all you got to do is think about the last 6 years and think about have he picked anybody in 6 years in week one? No. No. So all the exciting players that go out week one, we might as well just turn the TV down and just occasionally look at our phone. Well, we need to be glued to the TV next week.
My last thing before we move on to the next comment. My biggest thing with Slay is this, and I'm not 29 years old, turns 30 this year, makes $12.9 million right now, and wants a new contract.
Yeah, so he go command money now. So
like,
yeah,
you're basically back. That doesn't make sense to do that.
And see, and just think about it. We turned down Minka.
Oh yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I was wrong on that one. You caught me,
but it's okay. But I'm just saying, that's like, think about it. Like, Minka was like,
he was definitely worth it,
in our grasp, and definitely we was like, we don't think he's worth it. We only would do it for like a Deion Sanders type of. Okay, for real. And then he go over there, he turns he turned Pittsburgh apart, defensive player of the year looking type of player. Like, but we don't do that. So it's like, so yes, I'm not out on Slay, but I'm gonna say this: Slay not gonna happen.
Yeah, he not gonna call. They're not even gonna call Dallas because Dallas has already showed you that they don't value that position. Hence the reason they didn't even try to do anything with Byron Jones. So that lets you know right there that they don't value that position. So Cowboys aren't gonna look. They're not gonna. I wouldn't think they would, especially at 29 years old. At 29 years old, I think you can find a free agent out there who's. I mean, at the end you got to say it like this: for $14-15 million. Our cornerbacks, you already basically have two starters. You're sliding. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not even gonna say that. I mean, I love Chris Harris, but I'm kind of even out on Chris Harris. Be real, because at the end of the day, I see it like this: the Dallas Cowboys they're not gonna invest any money in paying him. They're not going to. And even
unless
if
team friendly,
unless it's super team friendly, and yeah, exactly. And when you get to that, when you start getting to that team friendly, it makes more sense to go after a youngster, because you got to think like this: if you sign an older cornerback right now, you still got to deal with them two cornerbacks that are coming up.
Yeah, no, Slay is not gonna happen according to history. Like, it's not gonna happen according to history. Now, if it happened, I'd be surprised and I'd celebrate, but it just doesn't match our history, in my opinion.
Yeah, and then you have an older corner and two. I mean, I don't know, man. I think Cheetah Bay has to have since we're on the corner, one subject, bro. He got to have a breakout season this year, man. Like, that's the homie too, but man, he got to have a breakout season this year, man. He got to, bro. He got to.
Well, it's one of those things to where I feel comfortable with what we have at corner. I don't feel comfortable with having three guys out there, so I feel like we still vulnerable. I do think that we go likely target somebody that can possibly play the nickel in the draft, because I honestly feel like this is a better nickel draft than it is a corner draft. I think you can find you a quality nickel in this draft faster than you go find you a real quality corner in this draft.
That makes me not want to pay a free agent, because I'm cool. I can technically be cool with my outside corners and throw a nickel in there.
Yeah, I think that's more realistic. And my Cowboy family brought up some good people before as candidates for that, like the Notre Dame corner. I think he'll be a perfect candidate for a nickel.
Okay.
A perfect candidate. I don't think you can even find too many that's going to be better. And it's going to be like third round and fourth round. I mean, and then you got it's just so many of them, man, that's real good quality that can come in and help aid in the nickel. And the good thing about a nickel is nickels are not going to be out there 100% of the time like your boundary corner is going to be. Not your boundary, but your outside corner is going to be, because you usually go with the nickel when the opposing offense goes with 11 personnel and you have to match it. Other than that, you're going to be out there facing offenses with your base defense, which you're going to have all your linebackers in there. So it takes a pressure off of somebody also coming in and also being a hero at the corner position. Now, could we do CJ or somebody like that, pick 17? because his measurables was outstanding and all of that kind of stuff. He doesn't tackle well, but somebody might look at him and say, "Hey, man, he's a great athlete, and I feel like I can get him to do that." Yeah, maybe that can happen. But right now, I'm like you, West Coast. I would feel comfortable going into 2020 with Lewis on the corner and Cheeto. I don't think like losing Byron is gonna make us just go to hell. It's a drop off a little bit in coverage, but I think you get a gain on ball skills with those other two guys, and I think we're gonna be fine. I think it's other areas that make us susceptible, because it was something else that was leaked out. I want to talk to you about that, West Coast, and get your thoughts. And it was actually kind of aggravating me. I was hearing leaks like it looked like the Dallas Cowboys are really trying to make a real good effort to go get Sean Lee. And it's like, why Sean Lee over Malcolm Smith? Like, why y'all
you
not
get both
trying
of them. I think they'll get both of them. I think
I
you
think
need
they
both of
should
them.
get both, but if it's anybody that should be a priority to me, it's Malcolm, because healthier, younger, durable, a better resume,
But you
better
know what?
pro
But you know
resume.
what? I'm gonna tell you so though. But I'm pretty sure Sean Lee's probably a lot easier to work with, because Sean Lee's probably in there saying, "Hey, you can just pay me whatever you need
You
to
think
pay
he
me."
easy to work with because Malcolm Smith was coming off the street? Like,
No,
you
but
know
I'm
what I mean?
saying, I'm pretty sure Mike. Yeah, but still, people still want their value. I'm pretty sure Malcolm Smith is building his value, while Sean Lee is saying, "Oh, I'm not. I'm at the last. I'll just stay." You know what I'm saying, bro? It's hard to turn down free work. I'm pretty sure Sean Lee is offering a bunch of free work. You know what I'm saying? And that's very hard to turn down. But the problem shouldn't be, I don't have a problem with Sean Lee staying. I don't have a problem with him staying. Like, bruh, I don't have a problem.
No, because we need
Yeah.
linebackers. We
Yeah.
got 5 expired contracts. We need both. But what I want
If Sean Lee don't stay,
Malcolm Smith.
If you don't, but if
He
you don't
played better.
if he did, but if you don't have Sean Lee and Malcolm Smith, we'll put it like this: if you don't have Sean Lee and Malcolm Smith, you're probably drafting a linebacker pick 17. If you have one of them, you're probably picking a linebacker rounds 2 to 3. But I promise you, 2 things that will get picked between rounds 2 and 3 is wide receiver and linebacker.
Right.
It's gonna happen
right now. Yeah. If the draft was today, that would be the case. That would be the case.
And the reason I'm gonna tell you another reason why I foresee it is because I don't foresee them gonna be using Jalen Smith too much as a linebacker ish. I think he's gonna be a pass rusher. I think he's gonna have his hand in the dirt like he was in college.
So you thinking we gonna run more of a hybrid 3-4? That's what you thinking?
To be honest with you, I honestly think they're gonna do what he said. He said they're gonna basically do what they got to do each week. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have play. I mean, I'm not saying it's gonna be schemeless, but I mean it's kind of like with offense. Like in 2020, your offense shouldn't be a run first team or a pass first team. You should be a whatever that team we're beat whatever they're not good at, that team. Like if you're playing a team that's ranked 30th in pass rush, then guess what you're doing? We're going to sit back and we're going to freaking throw the ball on your butt. Why? Because we're going to have all day. You know what I'm saying? But if you're paying freaking Washington Redskins, you're not going to try to run against that front all day. Why? Because they're going to get probably just as many wins as we do. Why? Because them dudes is good up front. And that's what we did. Like, that's what we did with the Jets, man. We tried to beat the Jets at their best game, and that's what? Running. We shouldn't have been running against the Jets. We should have been airing them dudes out. Like, they had a dude on their front line that I was asking the Cowboys to trade for. And a safety that loves hitting people. We should have been throwing the ball. We should have lit them up. Like, I love Jamal Adams, but he's known for hitting. He's not known for interceptions. So I would have had no problem putting the ball in the air.
Interceptions in 4 years.
You feel what I'm saying? But and that's the homie too. I ain't trying to shed no love, but I'm just saying I would have been okay. I would have been okay throwing the ball. It's like that's a difference between Earl Thomas. And when you play Jamal Adams, yeah, you want to throw that ball because he's gonna be in that box and he has no problem teeing off on Zeke. Yeah, like that was our biggest issue.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He don't. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when I see stuff like that, that's kind of the thing, kind of the conversation that the kind of the thought process that I go, just kind of, we about to wrap it up in a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We've been on here almost 2 hours, but, we got cut off the first time. We on here thick. So I'm going to go through some of these comments real quick and then we'll get on about our business. It says, my boy says,
going through that go ahead.
My boy says Dak wasn't the sole reason for us going 1-7. I would agree with you. I would definitely believe it's a team sport. It says, hopefully McCaffrey will do that and have the players play to their strength. Absolutely. I saw a comment up here earlier. Somebody was saying, let me see. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all, man. I'm not putting LVE in any equation until I see him on a football field. Like that's that hoping and dreaming I told y'all about. But just knock that stuff off.
And dreaming. Yep.
Like,
yeah, this is not a good time to count LVE.
Not at all.
Yeah. Treat him like Greg.
Like, yeah. Alfredo says if we start Rush at quarterback, the Cowboys are going or be top 5 pick in the draft next year. Book it. I mean, the guy hasn't played any games in the NFL. He hasn't played any regular season games in the NFL. So I mean, that's my kind of question. Let me see what y'all talking about over here on YouTube. He says if you give Dak even a 3 or a 4 year deal, Cowboys can pay Dak around 22 to 25 million this year, and next 2 seasons like 38 because the cap's going through the roof. So 80 million more in 2 years. He says my 40 million in 2001 and 40 million in 2020. Man, I mean, Cowboys. I mean, honestly, I don't even think they're that far off of a deal, man. I think the deals that they're going to do is reasonable. I think it's going to be more closer to 34 million than anything. Like when the Dallas Cowboys, when deals come out, it always be like, dang, that's okay. Y'all should have been did that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. The Zeke deal. They was less than $1 million off, and the hold off was over less than $1 million. And this was the worst part about that hold off with Zeke, which makes my theory way more right than anybody else's theory. Because everybody trying to find a reason. I'm saying it's ego. The reason why I know it's ego is because remember they signed Alfred Morris for $1 million for false leverage, and then cut him once they signed Zeke. So if the difference of your contract and this whole hold off was over less than $1 million, but you spend more for false leverage, was it ever about the money? No.
I mean, if it was really about the money, you would not have moved on your original offer. You would have told him, take my offer and walk. Why? Because I can't do it. You know what I'm saying?
I can't do it. So
health problems and money problems
is
the best.
It's about the Joneses want to look in the public like they basically whoop their players in line to take team-friendly deals. That's what this whole thing is about. That's what this whole thing is about. And they have both proven that they will get publicly embarrassed to look right. They'll do it. They'll go out there and sell us on receiver by committee, get embarrassed by it, just to appear right.
Yeah, but I want to give you guys some hope, man.
With common sense was saying this, because as soon as they cut theirs, you know what most of the NFL analysts are saying? You know what? And they was being sarcastic when they said it. They say, you know what a prime place for Dallas would be? Back to Dallas.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they looked at our roster. They was like, man, these boys got Hearns, Thomas, Beasley. That's a bunch of number 2s and number 3s. Even though Dez is not himself, he's still y'all best. And then what they end up doing? Giving away a first. Yeah. So
my boy Janelle says Dak is gonna. I'm Janelle. I gotta read your comment. Why? Because it's a thought that's out there in the nation. They're saying he says Dak Prescott's gonna get paid. They're just tagging him to buy more time. This is my thing. Why do you need more time? You've been talking to him for 7 months.
And it's stupid because
like you get what I mean. Like you're paying. It's a like we should have paid Dak Prescott and just put the tag on Amari Cooper. Problem solved.
Yeah, that's who you need time for.
That's who we don't need. Why do you need time from Dak? Why do you need more time? That doesn't make any sense. You basically got a woman at the altar in her dress, and you walk up and say, "Baby, I need more time." Like what more? There's no more else that you need to do. Like now, this just comes back to your doubt, and that's why I flat out said, like, do the Dallas Cowboys value Dak Prescott? Yeah, they value him. No. You know what I'm saying? They value him. They value him at $33 million per year. They do because they paid him.
They value him. See, it's a shady value. It's like this. I value you enough to not let you go date, but I also to not let you date, but I don't value enough to marry you. See what I'm saying? So if you really felt like, okay, or let me address what he said. He said they just need more time.
To do what?
So they don't need more time.
They don't.
Dak already told them what he wants. He said, I'm not looking to be paid like I won a ring, right? So all you have to do is look at who got the ring. That was Russell Wilson. So he was saying, I'm not looking to be paid like him. So what is that number? 35 million, which is the average per year. So who
Wait.
didn't win a ring? Goff and Wentz. So what was their numbers? 32 and 33.5. So what's holding this up? The difference of $1 million again. So if Dallas offered Dak 34 million and 111 in total guarantee, Dak
Oh my
would
God.
sign.
Oh my God. Oh
What?
my God. We got breaking news. Stephon Diggs just got traded to the Bills. Everything that we just said changes. Everything that we just said changes.
So leverage to Cooper. And that's why I said if we lose Diggs and don't sign Cooper,
You're gonna
they go come out and try to sell us on hope on a first round receiver. Don't drink that Kool-Aid because it's gonna be too much.
And then I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. I'm gonna tell you the one thing that's gonna happen in the draft is gonna mess everything up. That one guy that you're gonna put your hopes on is gonna get drafted, and then they're gonna be scrambling. Oh, let's draft that guy. He caught 10 passes in the last 2 games, which was good. You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, sign Amari Cooper.
And then even if we get the guy that you hope, let's say if CD Lamb fall or you know,
do you think CD Lamb's better than Michael Gallup right now?
No, not right now. Not right now. Because it's
then theoretically you're drafting a guy to be your third wide receiver if Amari Cooper is here.
Like no, not
you're
right
drafting
now,
a guy to be your third wide receiver.
I mean, CD Lamb will probably be one of the best because out of everybody, he seems to have the best mental toughness out of all the receivers to me. He seems like he's made for the lights. It's almost like that it factor that you look for, that moxie. He seems to have that more than all the receivers. But other than him, I think everybody go come in and struggle just like Gallup did until they develop their confidence. I think it's going to be exactly the same, no different. So it's we playing a dirty game in a very risky game,
bro. That was my
Cooper,
only little.
Now you got
oh my God,
girlfriend out there dating. Now she out there like, oh, you go, you know, we've been treating you like trash, treating you like we don't really want you, and like you're not worth it, and somebody else go roll out the red carpet for you.
Bro, there's no way the Dallas Cowboys aren't double.
Ready to go through right now.
There's no way they're not double talking right now. There's no way they're not double talking right now. Because, bro, there's no way you're going to tell yourself in a season. You guys got to think about this. Even if all these rookies are the best rookies in the world, guess what? They had better been that on tape because there's no really pro days, right? In the combine, we know that ain't real football. You know what I'm saying? I love the combine. I love it. But the combine ain't real football.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and because of the ooey that's sitting out there, the C word.
And because we said the ooey, we don't say that word on lives. You got the ooey out there. The NFL put out a mandate today that said that there are to be no free agents flown into any team or facility, and no team employee is to fly to meet a free agent. So they're not even meeting free agents. Thank God they have NFL tape. Think about a guy who, you know what I'm saying? Like now you can't even really go see a guy that's pro day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he had better have it on film. So you know what that means? That means all those guys those gems that you would find, you're not going to really be able to self-evaluate those guys. Why? Because you can't see them.
Yeah.
You're going to have to trust the film. And then
compromised.
think about this, boss. Let me give you an example. My boy Kyle Duggar, right? Like he looks so good on film that you almost want to devalue him as a player. Why? Because you're like, bro, either he is God in football or everybody he's playing against is just not good. And guess what? You don't have an opportunity to now go and see that for yourself. So I'm happy that he was able to get into the combine and get some good work. The combine this year is going to be epically important. Why? Because that's going to be your only pro day, really. Because there ain't no pro days. Ain't going to be no Dallas days.
Yeah, and so
ain't gonna be none of that.
So the big thing that West Coast is saying,
this is not a year to be trying to bet on a goddamn rookie. This is not. And think about this. Can I ask you a question about
this part too? You can't trust your evaluation process.
Boss, they're not even.
Hold on, real quick. I'm gonna say this quick. You can't trust your evaluation process that you trusted in the past. You can't, because you are now compromised. Your process is compromised. Like, for instance, when West Coast and I interviewed Cal Duggar, it changed my analysis on him from being able to talk to him face to face. It changed because I saw how smart he was. I saw a lot more about it. You're not going to be able to do that this year because you can't travel because of the ooey that's floating in the air. The
Hey,
C word.
and guess what else you can't do, boss? I'm gonna tell you what a lot of these guys aren't doing right now. What are NBA players doing right now who are currently supposed to be in season? What are they doing right now? They're on NBA Live. They're on Modern Warfare.
Right.
They're on Facebook. They're on Twitch. They're on. I hope they're not on Tumblr. The ooey's out there. Don't be on Tumblrs, guys. They're on Facebook. They're on Instagram. I'm gonna tell you this right now, man. Unless you're a top 10 guaranteed pick, you don't have the money to pay someone to come to your house and train you at your house. I mean, if you're a top 25, if you're a top 30 pick, you do. Your agent get you taken care of. But think about all them dudes that's in the third and second round. You know what they're doing right now? They're working out by themselves.
Yeah.
This is not the year, bruh. This is not the year.
So the talent and preparation
is
and
totally different.
Off is screwed because
this ain't the year.
So like for instance, when Dak came in and killed the Senior Bowl, he kept building on that momentum all the way into the season. That's why he exploded for the Dallas Cowboys. He's not gonna be able to have that type prep with the ooey.
Hey, say what you're about to say about Braxton, because I know this is affecting his business.
Braxton,
I know this is affecting his business.
Yeah, so this is really key what I'm getting ready to say. Ronnie Braxton is one of the top trainers in the country on training everything football related. And we talk about this a lot. And we know this from experience from playing together. And you know this, West Coast. You make your biggest gains in the offseason. You only maintain during the season.
Yep.
Your gains is in the offseason. So because of the ooey that's floating out there, the C word, it's people, especially younger people, that's not going to have the discipline, like you said, unless you're top 10 pick and can have personal trainers.
Unless somebody else got money invested in you. That's why.
That's not going to generally happen after the first round. See, this is how it works. The agents pay for this stuff, and when you get your contract, you pay them back.
Yep.
So that's why people that can afford the prep meals and the limos and the lifestyle before you get your check,
they're not paying for it.
They're not paying for it. The agent is paying for that. Like I know that firsthand from my first year at college when I first played in the Liberty Bowl and came out of the Liberty Bowl, and our running back had a limo waiting for him. You know, and then as soon as we got back to the campus, it was a 600 Benz on 20s. It was like, bro, you ain't pay for that. He was like, yeah, my agent did. You know, as soon as I get drafted and Antoine Smith ended up getting drafted, you know, he paid for that. That's when he paid for that. So the people that's getting all the treatment and all the quality prep right now is first rounders. The people that's between round 2, 3, and 4, they could probably have compromised prep.
Yep.
And so So you go bring people into your camp, like you said, that been playing live, mad.
They got Diggs for a 7th round pick. Don't tell me that. Don't you tell me that.
Yep.
Don't you tell me that.
But that's what I said. People like Diggs make sense. Didn't I say that? I said people like Diggs make sense because you getting them because they're mad, and you want them types because they're marshals, and them teams trying to get rid of them like Hopkins, and you'll get them for a deal. That's exactly what I said. I said that's why you should target them, and that's why I was thinking, could Dallas be doing that? And obviously they were not.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, man. That's why I was saying. At the end of the day, Rialto's Unified School District, oh snaps, what they saying?
I better pay attention when I talk about them marshals, man. People not peeping the marshals. I'm telling you, you can build a team off of it.
You can, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? My boy says, Case, what he says not true. What you telling me not true about? Let me know what's not true. Let me know what's not true.
I want to hear what's not true.
I'm very curious.
Don't describe what's not true and then don't say what it is, so it can't be addressed.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Let me know. But I mean, at the end of the day, man, these guys gotta make sure that I think this is a tainted draft. In my opinion, I think this is gonna be a tainted draft. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that. I mean, I honestly think even a guy like Joe Burrows, I think his stock even drops a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because without preparation, without being able to go through the things that you're able to do, it doesn't guarantee that he's the first overall pick that you're going to hang your franchise on. I mean, think about this. I mean, and you'd be like, oh, yeah, he did have a good season. But guess what? When you pick a guy number 1, you're picking a guy for 5 years, possibly even 10 if he gets a second deal. You know what I'm saying? So I think it puts a cloud over every individual in the draft.
It's
And
gonna be weird.
it's gonna be weird.
Because think about your point with Kyler Murray. As soon as they drafted Kyler Murray, he went to work, right?
Yeah.
They gave him starting reps out the gate, which led to what? The rookie season, right? So
my boy said I was wrong, but before he can prove that I'm wrong, he got to go find the information. That means he didn't like the point. That means the point could have been good. You just didn't agree with it.
Yeah, and you got to go find it.
It'd be like that sometimes. I know.
Yeah, because if you go against Boss, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna put it on you quick.
Okay. He says Bills gave up a first, a fifth, and a sixth, and a fourth. Praise God. Woo! I will gladly. Yeah, wait, time out. I will. K Hayes, I will lay down on the altar and I will say I was wrong, baby. Thank you, Jesus.
Hold
they
on,
said
first?
They gave up a first, a fifth, a sixth, and a fourth in 2021.
Oh, that wasn't Marshall's.
Bruh. But you got to think. But you think about this. Think about this though. The dude was young. He's 26 years old. He's on a deal that pays him $11 million for the next $11 million each year for the next year. I'm like, bro, that's a no-brainer. Like that's worth it. I mean, that's worth it. Now, I mean, Amari Cooper's price just went up, man. Amari Cooper is on the same exact sliding scale that Dak Prescott's on. It's just Dak is just more. Dak is just more money, but they're on the same scale. They're on the same scale.
Like, see, it definitely went up now because now everybody finna throw all their bidding dollars on the next guy that's available.
And who's the next guy available?
That's Cooper.
So guess what? Everybody had their sights put on Diggs. Now everybody who needs a wide receiver has their sights put on Amari Cooper. So, I mean, and I'm not about to sit up here and try to make y'all, the worst thing I can literally do to you guys, or you guys as our scouts, as, you know, as our fan base, as our supporters, man, is to try to sit up here and sell you guys on the thought that I feel comfortable with the Dallas Cowboys letting Amari Cooper walk and getting some rookie. No.
And don't let other
bloggers and don't let magazines and don't let no draft expert, because I'm gonna tell you guys this right now. Don't no draft expert know the future. And the future in the past says that first round wide receivers need at least 2 years. And think about this, even if they just need 2 years like everybody else, right? 2 years means they'll be good next year. What happens this year? And Boss Cowboy, can I throw another scenario in there? Why do you give Dak Prescott $33 or $34 million, $35 million, and he even got no weapon? You just basically put him under the fire, but then going to take every tool away from him to succeed. That doesn't make any sense.
I've been saying that since
you put him right back in the scenario that he wasn't. Think about this.
Dak refurbished weapons since he's got here. They never gave him new car smells. Who did they get? The Browns. They gave him Hooper, didn't they?
Man, two young quarterbacks both got help today. Baker Mayfield got a tight end. He got the number one tight end in free agency in Hooper. Young guy. This dude get out there. Number 81, the dude, he actually scored more touchdowns than Julio Jones. Like, come on now. How does a tight end score more touchdowns than Julio Jones? Then you had goddamn Kyler Murray get DeAndre Hopkins. You had two young quarterbacks at the beginning of their season get premium weapons.
Man, you know what? I said this before, and I think a lot of people didn't hear me, but I'm gonna make this case again. This whole world is ran by ego. This world ain't ran by logic and common sense. It's ran by ego. Because if you look at the pattern that happens, the people that commit the most to their quarterbacks are first round quarterbacks. The people that seem like they have to fight to prove that they was never, that they belonged, are like your fourth round to sixth round quarterbacks that end up breaking out. Because they treated Russell Wilson like, well, the Legion of Boom kind of carried you, until it became more obvious that, no, it's actually you that's balling. Then they also treated Kirk Cousins like that, tagged him twice, because it's like, you was a fourth rounder. You not really one of the first round guys. So they didn't really weapon him up in Washington either, right? And then you look at Brady. Brady obviously is known for the GOAT now, but for the first 3-4 years, even with 2 Super Bowls, they were still calling him a game manager. It's almost like it's a pattern of people, even the Joneses and all other owners, that's trying to more so show that they was right, that you was a fourth rounder, than saying, you know what, we was wrong. Let's treat you like a first rounder and weapon you up, because all the first rounders get weaponed up. That's the pattern that I see. You know what I mean? It's like when they pay you and when they bet on you, they also betting on their own judgment and trying to show my judgment was right on you. So they're gonna do everything in their power to make that judgment look right. You know, so it's like your point is so perfect on you keep subtracting from Dak. You subtracted Dez and gave him a committee. Then you gave him a receiver in Cooper who was really low key on a decline with the Raiders, but they just had chemistry and it ended up working out. But then you looking like you are open to subtracting from him again, and then you go mess around and throw a rookie receiver on him and say, work it out.
Make it work.
And then go say stuff like, well, let's see if he can carry it. That's the stupidest idea in the world. To say,
and then they're gonna say, "Well, Dak ain't never carried it. He can't carry a team." Well,
like, no, like do like the other teams. Like other teams will have Matt Ryan on the MVP season and say, "Let's give him more help. Let's go give him Ridley as the third receiver." And then you'll see somebody like Mahomes in the first round who will have the fastest receiver, the number one tight end, and then Dallas will say, "Hey, we trying to get rid of Dez. And we want Sammy Watkins, and we gonna pay you 16, and then even Kansas City will step up and say, we'll pay you the same amount to be the third receiver." That's committing to your quarterback. So Mahomes never carried a team either. Never. Yeah. You know, no.
Yeah, and for all them people that say that, like, as I know there's this narrative out there of, oh, Amari Cooper doesn't play well against road teams or home teams. I'm gonna be honest with you, y'all. Go look at the dude look at the games that he's played for the Dallas Cowboys and look at the overall stats. The kid's averaging about 97 yards per game. Like, you know, you don't pay somebody off of what they do against one team. Because if that was the case, Dak Prescott would have got paid in 2017 when we beat a freaking Drew Brees. Like, we got to stop being so trivial and putting stuff. When you sign someone to a contract, that is a 5-year deal. It has to be something bigger than just you beating one team, or even just winning one game. Like a 5-year contract is bigger. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. For you to give a person like for example, Joe Flacco, right? He got a deal for winning a Super Bowl, and then what did he do with that organization after? Nothing.
Same thing will happen with Tannehill too.
Nothing. But I mean, Tannehill's deal is so Gucci though, bro. The deal is basically a 2-year deal it's a 2-year deal for $62 million. Everything else is fluff. It's a 2-year deal for $62 million. So he's gonna get 31 this year and 31 next year, and they're out. He'll be 33 when they're walking away from him. He's a bridge quarterback.
And then Kirk Cousins got 2 years, 66. So that's 33. And one thing about when Kirk Cousins get 33, all other quarterbacks that's getting ready to come after that go be higher. And what that's going to do to Dak when Bridgewater come out at 33.5 and 34? That's going to be like, damn, that's what I've been asking for.
And I also need
to be 35.
And I also need us as fans to stop doing this addition by subtraction. Okay, if we're signing this person, if we're not going to sign this person, that means we're going to sign this person. No, we need them all.
Yeah,
we need them all. The only person that we could addition is Byron Jones. And that's because if you subtract Byron Jones's play from last year, are we still good?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Byron Jones' play didn't help us or hurt us last year.
Yeah, it wasn't like, like, damn, well, we sure needed those 3 picks. No.
Or we sure needed that time that rookie.
Or you sure did shut down that top receiver.
Or what about that time that rookie wide receiver in his first game? Last year he had 2 games where Washington, where a rookie just disrespected him. And then Henry again in Henry's first game as a goddamn New England Patriot just dogged him, bodied him. I'm like, get out of here. I just threw my clipboard. I just like, bruh, what am I expect? Right. Y'all don't remember those though. I know.
Oh, they don't remember. They say he shut down. So they say he shuts down half the field, and it's like that's a lie. No, that's
my boy says that sounds like making excuses for Cooper not showing up against New Orleans, New England, and pouting. Well, first off, let's kick some facts. How can you not? No.
Game.
Exactly. That's what I was. Hold up, real quick. But my thing is this, right? How do you not show up when someone only physically throws the ball to you 2 times? Like, I want to know. I want to ask that question. Like, if your quarterback only physically throws the ball to you 2 times, how do you not show up? And then can I ask you a question? Against New Orleans, do you think The game plan should have been to throw the ball. No, it should have been to run the ball, which we weren't doing. New England, wasn't it pouring down raining? Like, when it's pouring down raining, what should be the game plan? And when it's pouring down raining, nobody should be throwing the ball. You should be running the ball.
It's more than that. It was more than rain. It was 27-mile-an-hour winds.
And he got 2 passes.
And it was below freezing and against the best corner in the whole league. So let's stop. Like, so it's like, look, yeah, you right, West Coast. Like, it's a false comparison, bro. It's like you're talking about he didn't show up. Like, nah, bro.
And then he did all that on a. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't he injured the entire season?
Yeah, it's like what happened, and I'm gonna tell you what happens with us, man, as Cowboy fans. See, the media, you got to learn the.
That's why, man. If I get hurt and I play for the Cowboys,
let me say this real quick, West Coast.
I ain't playing for you.
Just real quick, you got to figure out the patterns of what happens to us as a team. What happens to every player on our team is they find any negative trend and they just beat it all day long to create a false narrative. That's exactly what they do. Think about it. Road games and receiver play has nothing to do with ability. Nothing. But they put that in some, and nobody puts that together. Like, what does that have to do with his ability to play? Nothing. And they go, and this is the one they're doing on Dak this year. And it's only for 1 year that they do this. Dak was 7-1 on, 1-7 on winning teams. Why don't y'all count his 4-year record? Why y'all only doing it for? What did they do with Dez when they was trying to say he declined?
All right, so we got some.
He was on a 3-year decline. What's crazy is they count 2015 when he had surgery.
Hey, boss, I got some breaking news real quick. So Adam Schefter is reporting that Amari Cooper intends to re-sign with the Dallas Cowboys on a 5-year deal worth $100 million.
Okay, so they let him take some phone calls, and then he took them calls.
And then they said, we'll give you the 20. Yeah. Man, I hope it's true, man. Get it signed and let's get it done.
No, it's true. It's true. When he put it out there, it's done. It's done. So, and $20 million, not a bad deal. Where he go likely set the market is gonna be the guarantee, and he go set the market, and then Jerry and them go act like they never said none of those guys gonna be market settles, and I'm committed to it. No, you caved. This deadline made you cave, and that's good. Cave on Dak too, so we can go ahead and put that free that money up to sign other people next week.
Absolutely. Well, man, I love it.
I ain't never seen you smile like the man, but you start smiling like you start smiling like wifey was rubbing the ball head, man. I ain't never seen you just
let's go,
bro. And but ain't it funny though?
Let's go.
No, hold on, West Coast rewind.
I got my season back. That's what I'm happy about. I don't give a damn about all that other stuff.
Ain't it funny that Diggs signs? Now listen. Diggs signs. 10 minutes later, Cooper done.
Let's go. Woo! Hey, I'm cool. I'm happy.
I'm better too, man. I feel like I got my bald head rubbed, except I got a head full of hair. Happy. I feel that, bro. I feel that. But I'm talking about you start cheesing instantly. Like,
oh my God, let's go.
Yeah, that's weight off. That's weight off. That's a big piece of our offense that gotta stay. With Cooper sign and Dak tag, I feel a whole lot better. You got me turning on the TV right now.
Let's go.
Yeah. That's one. We got one more domino, and that's Dak. We got one more domino.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
Quit playing. Close it out. Give Dak his.
Let's go. Oh, man, because y'all don't understand it was about to get grimy around this piece, man. Oh, my God. Let's go.
Yeah, it was looking real hopeless, hoping in a first-round receiver to be the savior. No, that was – most people would have been falling for it like, yeah. But it's like if you look at history, it's like, no. Yeah, it's a 5% chance, and it make you almost look like that guy on Dumb and Dumber where he says, so you're saying it's a chance. And it's like, nah, I'm not that dumb dude. I'm looking at it like, goddamn, it's it's more than likely this dude is over his head and they throwing in them deep waters. So yeah, that's a great relief to know that likely that's over.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. We got some people saying, should we give him the 88? Absolutely not. Like, slap yourself.
The 88?
No, slap yourself. No.
Oh yeah,
No.
I'm down with it at first, but not with Dez.
Not with him possibly wanting to play.
No, we got to keep that until
no.
Dez
Now,
is officially gone.
now the cool thing about the game that you got to do now is now that you have Amari Cooper, you know he's gonna be there. Man, add to it. Add to it, because think about this: we had Amari Cooper this year and still was not a playoff team. Add
We
to
still need that
it.
red zone. Keep
Stop.
preaching.
Do not get complacent, or don't get all happy that we got Cooper.
Yeah.
We should have already had. Like, here we go, Cowboy fans being happy about something that we should have already had.
Yeah, we
and
still in hope.
And the number one thing that's gonna happen is you're gonna have all the people say, "Man, I told you he was gonna sign Cooper." Man, what you mean? We should have been signed Cooper.
Right.
Like, we should have been signed him.
Yeah.
All this up to this point was for no reason.
Yeah, and this is the worst part. We could have saved money if we did Cooper on an extension.
Because you paid him $13 million last year for nothing.
Right. And
To then sign him the next year.
We would have saved $9 million. What was it, the 9 million? We would have saved $9 million if we said we're gonna pay you, but it's gonna start in 2020. That's the definition of an extension. It would have automatically freed up $9 million that would have rolled over into this year. But we lost that 9 fighting. We lost that whole 9 fighting over likely $1 million. Like, how many times we gonna lose 6 and 9 million in a year fighting over $1 million? Yeah. It's crazy, and that's what Dallas does, though. This is what we do. And what Jerry said, deadlines make deals. It's like, but man, you running up your own price with these deadlines. Sometimes pay these guys early, man, so we don't have to run up the price, bro. Like, for real, that's also an option. You don't got to stick to your caveman theories that run up your price, especially when historically it has run up your price. It's like sometimes you got to abandon certain theories when it's proven to be like what you just did when old boy came back and said no, it was a first and this and this and this. You say, oh, I was wrong, I abandoned that. You abandon the theory, fine. And just like, why can't Jerry and them do that sometimes?
Exactly, man. So yeah, man. So I mean, you know what your core team is going to be right now, because I mean, you got Cooper. I would hope that the Dallas Cowboys was then now. I mean, you're gonna have a lot of money free up with signing Amari Cooper. Let's free even more money up now by freeing up Dak Prescott.
Right.
Sign Dak Prescott. Get it over with.
And let's start shopping. Let's
start shopping, man, because we still have a.
Let's go get Phillips.
Because I'm gonna tell you guys right now, like, even with us re-signing Dak Prescott and Amari Cooper, I apologize to kind of piss in your yogurt, but you're still an 8-8 team.
And you still got red zone issues.
And you still can't stop the run. Congratulations.
Congratulations. West Coast, I like you. You smile for 5 seconds and we're right back to building.
But you feel what I'm saying? Like, you
man,
like
preach.
Now, like,
Preach.
like not sign, like basically signing Amari Cooper kept us from not being a lottery pick. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
But now that we have Amari Cooper and Dak signed, we're now an 8-8 team.
Still got stuff to fix.
We still got mad stuff to fix. We still got points, problems.
So let's say it like this. We are obviously with him going to still be able to move the ball. Because that's what we was really good at yards with him. But every time we got in that red zone, it was brakes put on, because even though Cooper is a great athlete, he is not a jump ball guy. He's not a 50-50 guy.
Not at all.
We have to go find that guy as well, to West Coast point.
Like, you need a tight end who can do it, or a wide receiver who can do it.
Or both.
Or both.
Yeah, or both. Like, so Dez still makes sense, or when you draft, you know, you got to go look at some Claypools, some Mims, you know what I mean? Like, say, we got to get some balls that can just big boy you. You know what I mean? And man, excellent point. And I'm glad you got out of being happy so fast and went right back to what we need.
And then, hey, everybody keeps saying different coach. It's a different coach, but it's still the same Jerry Jones. We didn't had 15 coaches since the last time we won a Super Bowl. And the Super Bowl and the results are the same. I understand it's a new coach, but Jerry Jones is still the same dude with the same little hair, weird looking thing on the side that walk like this with the big black shiny boots.
I'm going to mix both of those points. The good thing about having a new coach is also it's in McCarthy's history that he also agrees with us. Because if you look at McCarthy's track record, especially in the last 4 years of him being with Green Bay, you'll see that he targeted bigger targets. So he's actually also aligned with what we're saying. So yes, we have a new coach, but we need, like West Coast said, Jerry and Steven allow him to get the guys
Exactly.
that fix us
You still
in the
ain't paid your
red
quarter.
zone.
Like, think about this. We're up here trying to pretend like ourselves like this is the new and improved Dallas Cowboys, and you still ain't paid your quarterback. Like, knock it off.
Yeah, no,
Like, knock that off.
You
We
still
paid
pissing-
we
yeah,
paid
you
Cooper.
still insulting the most important person.
Hey, you paid a
openly,
bill that you paid
but
a
we're
bill
new.
that you paid a bill that you used and you did, and now you want credit because we paid Cooper. Like, no, you were supposed to pay Cooper. Like,
Yeah,
you know
that
what I'm
was
saying?
the bill you ran up. You ran up the tab.
Like,
And
yeah, you
got
ate the food
money
and
on
that.
your credit card. Pay the bill.
Like, come on.
Thank
Like,
you.
I'm not trying to steal the Dallas Cowboys thunder, but you can't.
Yeah,
I'm
and
not.
we're going to be better with McCarthy, but it's also a fact that even McCarthy needs help too. You know what I mean? And that's what we're saying. It's like it's still stuff to work on personnel wise. Yeah, we gonna be better with McCarthy. I believe that, no doubt.
Absolutely, optimism.
But nah, I'm still rocking with West Coast on the fact that we got red zone issues.
Still got the same red zone
weapons.
issues. Still
Yeah,
got
because we got red zone weapons, and if that's the case, who you putting the pressure on? Dak and our OC.
And we did that already,
and we've done that already.
And it didn't work.
So it's like, nah, it didn't work. And it's like, I don't want to see a whole nother year of trying to force a square into a hole. Just give the guys what they need. Give Kellen weapons. Like, and then just think about it. I always say this. How did Green Bay attack us? What did they do to us? They found the mismatches. They went at Adams and they went at Jordan Lewis twice in the red zone. What did they do in another Green Bay game? They went and put Graham on Jordan Lewis. He went out there, he booty bumped Jordan Lewis, put his arms out like this, and caught the ball for a touchdown because it was about the mismatch. The quarterback didn't have to scheme. I mean, the OC didn't have to scheme, and the quarterback didn't have to throw a perfect ball. He just needed to be able to throw a pass that any basketball player could do. You know what I mean? Put it in a place to where he boxed this guy out, just like me throwing the alley-oop. Yeah. And that's why when you look at Green Bay, likely that's what we're going to see. And just, let's just Jerry and them let McCarthy get his guys.
Yeah. Well, hey, man, we've been on here for about 2 hours. Boss Cowboy, let them know where they can find you at, man.
Boss Cowboy Sports.
Hey, man, today has been a crazy world. It's going to be even more crazy tomorrow. Make sure you guys tune in. You guys already know what it is. Never look down because the stars